Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I just took a nap, so I'm feeling a little bit refreshed and then again a little bit groggy. So what better time to talk about selling options? And folks, I may have found the next options play, and that is Cracker Barrel. Just kidding, I don't know if you've seen what's going on with Cracker Barrel, but the stock is down 20% in a month. And it's because they released a new logo and we're talking about refreshing the brand and changing up a lot of the places. So they lost $100 million in value in the stock market, which is kind of wild. Portfolio sitting near 180K. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I am willing to bet things are going to continue to go up because why wouldn't they? Last week kind of had us on our toes. I wasn't too sure what was going to happen. And then Friday, we talked about possible rate cuts, and here we are. So last Friday, I ended up buying to close a lot of puts that I had sold to free up some of that money. And I think I'm going to likely do the same this week as well. Here you can see all of these different options I've sold that are going to expire next week. I might have to end up rolling this SoFi call because SoFi has also taken off. It's been over $25 now and stayed there, which is pretty impressive. And that leads me to something I've been thinking about for some time now. And that is I sold this quite a while ago, this $14 SoFi call. And this is one of the issues when it comes to selling calls. And this is what I ran into selling a lot of my calls around the same time. And so I sold this $14 SoFi call and it expires in a few weeks. And as you know, this is pretty deep in the money because we're sitting at 25.11. So my options are I can either buy this back outright and pay $1,100 to free this up. I could let this get assigned come Friday, or if it gets exercised before then, I could roll it out, or I could do some combination of that. And I only sold two, so it's not like it's a really big deal. This isn't a huge part of my SoFi position. However, it would bother me on a psychological level to let these go at $14 a piece. Whether or not it makes sense financially, I know it's weird to think about, but that's just the truth. So what I was thinking about doing was buying to close this put. So if we look at that expiration, I believe it was September 19th. And here is the $14 call that I sold. And to free this up, I could equally sell a put that was very, very, very far out. Let's say June 17th of 2027. And for fun, let's just say I sell this $35 put on SoFi. The delta is a 0.51, so not a terrible chance that it expires worthless. And to be quite frank, do I see SoFi potentially getting this high by June 17th? I actually do. I could see it getting well beyond this actually by June 17th, 2027. So here's what would happen. I would buy to close the $14 call and I would sell to open the $35 put, and I would actually make $180 after everything's said and done with this one trade. So that would free up those shares. I wouldn't have to sell 100 shares at $14 a piece. The only issue is it ties up my money for that period of time. But as you guys may know, with a lot of the puts I sell, I end up using margin as the collateral because I don't want to use my own money as collateral, especially when I'm not paying interest on it. So why not use margin, not pay any interest, and then if something gets assigned to me, then I transfer funds over to pay for that and not pay interest on the margin. So yeah, that's my thought with this particular trade. That's how I want to recover. Does it make the most financial sense versus just letting them go and continuing to sell puts? I don't care. Because like I said, this is more psychological at this point. I don't want to get rid of 100 shares at 14 bucks a piece. Also, at the end of every week, what I like to do is I like to download my statement from Robinhood. So I went ahead and created a statement spanning all of last week. I head over to my website over on selloptions.net, which you can check out as well if you want. And if you're new, I created this and I'm continuing to work on it. The main thing it does is I can feed it this statement. It tells me instantly how much I made from selling options, what stocks I sold options on to make me the most money. And that way I don't have to keep track of this stuff on my own. I used to have this whole spreadsheet. You can go way back to older videos and check out me filling out this spreadsheet, how difficult it was when I had so many trades, and then how inaccurate it became because when I went to update records, it was hard to pinpoint which one I was supposed to update. So this does it all for me. I'm just going to go ahead and upload my statement here. And from August 18th to August 22nd, I only made $819 in net premium from selling options. I say only because this is actually low compared to the last 6 or so weeks. And a lot of that has to probably do with a couple things. One, I ended up buying to close a lot of positions, so that's actually a negative when it comes to net premium. So maybe I had, I don't know, $10 left on some puts, and instead of just letting them expire worthless, I just bought to close them for $10. Maybe I had a few of those kind of transactions. And then two, I ended up just sitting around and waiting throughout the week because most of the week was red and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to freak out. I didn't want to start rolling all of these options. I just wanted to let things play out, and I'm glad I did because Friday it just recovered. But if we look at individual tickers that I sold options on, here they all are. Opendoor, you might be following along. That's my YOLO play, my degenerate play. I only say that because it's not a company I truly believe in, but I believe in the momentum of the stock. And so I sold a few puts on Opendoor, and I think I sold a call at like $9, which if it got to $9 and that got assigned, so be it. But to no surprise, SoFi, Hood, and HIMS were at the top three here. Yeah, if you want to go check out this site for yourself, there's also some cool calculators you can check out. I really appreciate all of you that have come here and uploaded your statements and ran calculations. What's really cool, every time I refresh the page, or if it's been a while and I come back, I get to see the current number of how many calculations have been made. I love just watching that number grow over time, and you guys use the app. But anyway, I hope to see you in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, take care.